Hello, everyone, and welcome back to today's English Listening Practice podcast. I am so happy you are here with me today. This is day 2 of our special USA series. Yesterday, we introduced the country. Today, we are going to look at a specific region. In this episode, we will explore the East Coast states of the United States. We have a lot to talk about. We will discuss geography, history, culture, cities, and some very fun facts. As always, I will speak in simple, slow English so you can understand everything. Are you ready? Please sit back, relax, and enjoy listening. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is the East Coast? If you look at a map of the United States, the East Coast is on the right side. It is the land that touches the Atlantic Ocean. When people talk about the East Coast, they are usually talking about the states that sit right next to the water. This region is very important for a few reasons. First, history. The first European settlers arrived here hundreds of years ago. Because of this, the East Coast has many old and famous cities. Second, population. Millions and millions of people live here. It is very crowded compared to the middle of the country. Third, variety. The East Coast stretches from the north to the south. In the north, specifically the state of Maine, it is very cold and snowy in the winter. In the south, specifically Florida, it is hot and sunny all year round. So when you travel down the East Coast, you see the weather change, the food change, and the culture change. Vocabulary review. Region is a specific area of a country. Settlers are the first people to move to a new place to live. Stretches, extends or reaches from one point to another. Let's begin our journey at the very top. The northernmost state on the East Coast is Maine. Maine is famous for nature. When you visit Maine, you will see millions of pine trees. In fact, its nickname is the Pine Tree State. It is very beautiful, but it is also very cold. The winters here are long and snowy. Maine has a very rugged and rocky coastline. There are many lighthouses, those tall towers with lights to help boats see at night. But the most famous thing about Maine is the food. Maine is famous for seafood, specifically lobster. People all over America love Maine lobster. It is usually served with melted butter. People do not go to Maine for big cities or loud parties. They go there for peace, quiet, and national parks, like Acadia National Park. Vocabulary focus. Coastline is the land where the ground meets the sea. Seafood is food that comes from the ocean, like fish, shrimp, lobster. Lighthouse is a tall tower with a light to guide ships at night. Moving south, we arrive in Massachusetts. This state is very famous because of its capital city, Boston. Boston is one of the oldest cities in America. It is full of history. A long time ago, an event called the Boston Tea Party happened here, which helped start the American Revolution. You can walk down streets that are hundreds of years old. But Massachusetts is not just about the past, it is also about the future. It is famous for education. Some of the best universities in the world are here, like Harvard University and MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Because of these schools, the population here is very educated. Boston is often called the intellectual capital of America. The weather here is also cold in the winter, but the autumn season is beautiful with orange and red leaves. Vocabulary focus. Intellectual, related to thinking, studying, and being smart. Revolution, a fight to change the government. Capital is the most important city in a state or country where the government works. Now we move to perhaps the most famous state,
New York. It is important to understand that New York State is different from New York City. New York State is actually quite large. The northern part, called upstate New York, is very peaceful. It has big mountains, blue lakes, and green forests. However, when most people think of New York, they think of New York City. New York City is the biggest city in the USA. It is often called the city that never sleeps. Here you can see Times Square, bright lights and screens everywhere, the Statue of Liberty, a symbol of freedom, Wall Street, the center of money and banking, Broadway, where you can watch famous theater shows, Central Park, a giant green park in the middle of the busy city. New York is a mix of very busy city life and, if you drive north, quiet nature. It is a very energetic place. Vocabulary focus. Symbol. An object that represents an idea, like the statue represents freedom. Energetic. Full of energy and activity. Upstate. The northern part of a state, usually away from the main city. Right next to New York City is New Jersey. New Jersey is a smaller state, but many people live there. Actually, many people live in New Jersey but work in New York City. They travel back and forth every day. We call these people commuters. New Jersey is famous for its beaches, which they call the Jersey Shore. In the summer, many people go there to swim and relax. It is also known for being densely populated. This means there are many people in a small area. New Jersey has many suburbs. A suburb is a quiet area with houses just outside of a big city. It is a popular place for families to live. Vocabulary focus. Suburb. A residential area outside a big city. Densely populated. Having many people living in a small space. Commuter. Someone who travels to work every day. Next is Pennsylvania. This state is very interesting because it has a mix of industry and tradition. It has two major cities. Philadelphia. This is a history city. The Declaration of Independence was signed here. This is the paper that made America a country. Pittsburgh. This is known as the Steel City because they used to make a lot of steel there. Now it is a technology city. But Pennsylvania is also famous for the Amish community. The Amish are religious people who live very simply. Many of them do not use electricity or cars. They travel by horse and buggy. It is very unique to see a modern car driving next to a horse and carriage in Pennsylvania. Vocabulary focus. Declaration. An official statement or announcement. Steel. A strong metal used to build skyscrapers and bridges. Unique. Being the only one of its kind. Special. Moving south, we find Maryland. Maryland is a small state with a strange shape. It wraps around a large body of water called the Chesapeake Bay. Because of this water, Maryland is famous for crabs. If you visit, you must try a crab cake. It is delicious. Maryland is also located right next to Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. Because it is so close, many people who work for the government or the military live in Maryland. It is a wealthy and important state for politics. Vocabulary focus. Bay. A body of water surrounded by land on three sides. Politics. Activities associated with the government. Next is Virginia. Virginia is for history lovers. This is where the first successful English colony, Jamestown, was established in the year 1607. Virginia is often called the mother of presidents because 8 U.S. presidents were born here, including George Washington. Geographically, Virginia is beautiful. It has beaches in the east and the Blue Ridge Mountains in the west. In the autumn, the mountains turn gold and red, and people drive there just to look at the trees. It also has huge government offices like the Pentagon, where the U.S. military is managed. Vocabulary focus. Colony, a country or area under the control of another country. Established, set up or started on a permanent basis. Now we are entering the South. North Carolina is a state that feels friendly and warm. It is famous for the Great Smoky Mountains. These are beautiful, foggy mountains that are great for hiking. But North Carolina is also modern. It has an area called the Research Triangle Park, which is famous for technology, medicine, and universities. The culture here is known for Southern hospitality. This means people are very polite, friendly, and welcoming to guests. Vocabulary focus. Hospitality. Friendly and generous reception of guests or strangers. Foggy, when clouds are low to the ground and it is hard to see. Below North Carolina is South Carolina. This state is very popular for tourism. The city of Charleston is very famous here. It is an old city with beautiful, colorful houses and palm trees. It feels very romantic and historic. The food here is excellent, classic Southern comfort food, like fried chicken and shrimp. The weather here is much warmer. You rarely see snow in South Carolina. It is a great place for a beach vacation. Vocabulary focus. Historic. Famous or important in history. Comfort food. Food that provides a nostalgic or sentimental feeling, usually simple and high in calories. We are almost at the end of the map. Next is Georgia. Georgia is famous for peaches, peanuts, and onions. But the most important part of Georgia is the city of Atlanta. Atlanta is a huge, modern business city. Did you know that Coca-Cola was invented in Atlanta? You can visit the World of Coca-Cola Museum there. Atlanta also has one of the busiest airports in the entire world. The weather in Georgia can be very hot and humid. People sometimes call the capital city Hotlanta. Vocabulary focus. Humid. When there is a lot of water vapor in the air. It feels sticky. Hub. The central or most important part of a network, like an airport hub. Finally, we reach the end of the East Coast, Florida. Florida is very different from Maine, where we started. Florida is called the Sunshine State. It is tropical. It is one of the most visited places in the world. Why? Theme parks. Orlando, Florida is home to Disney World and Universal Studios. Beaches. Miami has famous white sand beaches and exciting nightlife. Nature. The Everglades is a giant swamp full of alligators. Many Americans move to Florida when they get old and stop working because the weather is warm and easy to live in. It feels like summer all year long. Vocabulary focus. Tropical. Hot and humid like the weather near the equator. Swamp. An area of wet, spongy land. Alligator. A large reptile that lives in swamps, similar to a crocodile. Wow, we have traveled a long way today. We started in the cold, rocky north with Maine and Massachusetts. We visited the busy cities of New York and Philadelphia. We saw the history in Virginia, and we ended in the sunny tropical state of Florida. The East Coast is a region of variety. Whether you like snow or sun, history or modern technology, quiet forests or busy streets, the East Coast has something for you. Thank you so much for listening to Day 2 of our USA series. I hope you learned some new vocabulary and facts. Don't forget to practice your English every day. Join me next time for Day 3, where we will look at the West Coast. Have a wonderful day and see you soon.